Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this charm right here. This charm is my own original design, and this here is my open book charm. As you can see here, we have the back cover, and then we also have two little pages, and well, this book doesn't really close very well. As you can see, it just keeps opening up, so that's pretty much why I named it the open book charm, because it can only stay open. But yeah, I'll be showing you how to make it. Alright, so to make it, you will need just a hook. I'll be showing you how to make this charm with just a hook. You will also need clips. You'll need several clips for this design, because as you can see here, that's how we close off the pages and the back of the book, so the book cover here. Then you'll also of course need rubber bands. I have 3 different groups. I'll explain what they all are. There you go. So the A group, the A bands, they are going to be the bands that are your book cover here in the back. These B rubber bands are going to be the pages on the inside. And the C bands are the connector bands, and what they do is they connect all the little single chains that make up the page and the book cover, and it's so you can have this charm and not a bunch of little single chains and stuff. So in this tutorial, I will be calling all of these bands what they actually are instead of A, B, and C bands, because it's just much easier to go ahead and call them book cover bands or page bands or connector bands. And I will be making my book look pretty much exactly like this one here, with the same colors and everything. And yeah, so you can go ahead and use the pause button so you can get the supplies you'll need. The exact number of bands that you'll need for this charm, so for what I have right here, will be listed down in the description, and also the same with the clips. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so to begin, we're gonna start by making the spine of the book here, which is what everything is connected to. The pages, the book cover, all of it's connected to this one chain here inside the charm. And to make it, you will need some book cover bands. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take one book cover band, we're just going to put it on our hook like so, make it into a cap band by twisting the band while it's on our hook, and putting this new shape we create onto our hook as well. Then we're going to get 2 book cover bands, so from now on, every time we go to get book cover bands, we're going to get 2 instead of 1. So as you can see here, we pretty much double everything, which means we take 2 rubber bands and use them like they are just 1 rubber band. Right? So you take 2 book cover bands, put them both on your hook like so. Then, once they're on, you can take this cap band and put them on the new band, so the new band's here. Then you'll put the other end of the new book cover bands onto your hook. And then we'll do the same thing again. We'll get 2 book cover bands, put them both on our hook like so. Then, we'll pull all these bands that are on our hook onto the new band, and then we'll put the other end of these new rubber bands onto our hook, and we'll go ahead and do this 3 more times. So we'll get 2 book cover bands, put them on our hook like so, and pull these bands that were already on our hook onto the new band, and then put the other end of the new bands onto our hook. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do this 2 more times. So just go ahead and do that. Alright, and once you finish, you should have these 5 little links in this chain, this little double single chain, pretty much. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get a clip and attach it to these bands here on our hook right now, just like we're ending off a bracelet. Alright. Then, once your clip is on, you can take this chain off your hook, and now you have the spine of your book. Now we're going to work on the book cover here, so the stuff here on the back. And to do that, we'll need more book cover bands and also a couple connector bands. Or a few. Alright, so to do this, you're going to want to have the cap band facing towards you so that it looks like a circle, like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our hook, we're going to put it going through our cap band again. Or I guess for the first time, I don't know. Anyway, you're just going to take it, put it on your hook, and start making the book cover here. Take our hook, we'll pull these bands through, so these new book cover bands through. Get a connector band and put it on your hook. Don't need to twist it or anything. And then put the other end of these new bands onto your hook. Alright. We'll do pretty much the same thing again. We'll get 2 book cover bands, put them on our hook. Pull these bands already on our hook, including the connector band, onto these new rubber bands. Then you'll get a new connector band, put it on your hook, and put the other end of the new bands onto your hook. And we'll start over one more time. You'll get 2 book cover bands, put them on your hook, and pull everything that's already on your hook onto the new bands. And then you'll put 1 more connector band, so this is your third and your last connector band you need for this side. You'll go ahead and put that on your hook, and then you'll put the other end of the new bands onto your hook. And then you'll get 2 more book cover bands, and we'll put them on our hook and pull all these bands on your hook onto the new ones. And we're not going to get a connector band, we're just going to put the other end of this new band onto your hook like so. And that's the end of this first row here on your book. So we're going to go ahead and get a clip, we'll get another clip, and attach it to these bands here on your hook, just like we're ending off a bracelet. Once they're on, you can take the bands off of your hook. And now we're going to start the next row. So you can either be working on the left side or the left side of the book cover or the right side, whichever side you want. So you just take the chain and flip it over like this. But whatever side you're working on for your book cover, both sides will be the exact same. So I'm actually only going to show you how you make one side. But whichever side you decide to work on first, make sure the connector bands are pointing up like this. So you can use these same connector bands for the remaining rows on your book cover. So I'm actually going to go ahead and work on this side, on the left. Alright, so for the rest of the rows here in the book cover that aren't going through the single chain, how you're going to start them is a little bit different. So you'll still want your cap band to be facing towards you where it looks like a circle. You'll take your hook, and with this double single chain that we first made in the beginning, it doesn't have connector bands in it. We're going to go into this first link, and we'll take our hook and we'll put it going through that link. But instead of going from the front to the back, like this, we'll instead go through this first little side here, and then out the side like this. So you have something like this here on your hook. Then you'll get 2 book cover bands, put them both on your hook like so, and pull these little links, these little loops here that you have on your hook onto the new band. Then you'll take one of these connector bands that you already have on this chain here, put that on your hook, and then put the other end of the new bands on your hook. Then again, you'll get 2 book cover bands, put them both on your hook like so. Slide all these bands onto the new band. Then get the next connector band. So you're slowly making your way up this single chain, or this chain here on the side. So now you're going to get the next connector band there. Put it on your hook. Put the other end of the new bands onto your hook. Then one more time, we'll get 2 book cover bands, put them on your hook, pull these bands that are already on your hook onto the new bands. Then, before you put the other end of the new rubber bands on your hook, you'll get this next connector band, this last connector band, put that on your hook, and then put the other end of these new bands onto your hook as well. Then we just need to get 2 more book cover bands, put them on our hook, and pull all of these bands here on your hook onto new ones. And that's the end of this row of your book cover. So now we're going to get another clip. We're going to get another clip and attach it to this chain here. And then once your clip is attached, you can take out your hook. And then, if you would like, what you can do with this clip here, from the previous chain we made, you can attach that to this end of this new single chain as well. Because as you can see here on the book, the clips are all attached to all the chains. So you can go ahead and start doing that now. It's a little bit difficult, especially with these small clips. If you have larger C clips, or if you have an S clip, it's probably much easier. Alright, there we go. So it's kind of like that now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the next row of the book cover. And this is the last time I'm going to show you how to make any row for the book cover here, because it'll be all the same for the rest of this side, and then it'll also be the exact same thing for the other side. So I'll go ahead and show and explain one more time, and then I'll show you how you need to start the other side, and then I'll show you how to add the pages. Alright, so to add a little chain for one new row of your book cover, you're going to move on to the next row, or the next little link in this this single chain here, the spine of the book. Take your hook and you'll put it going through this next link, going in through the front, or I guess the back, but you'll go in like this. And make sure the cap band is facing towards you. And make sure the cap band is facing towards you so it looks like a circle. And make sure it's also, you're on the same side of the chain you were before. So here's what one side of the chain looks like, and then the other side, it'll just look like a regular single chain, and then one side it'll look kind of weird, like this link will be pulled out. So one side will look regular. Make sure you're on the side that looks like it's being stretched out a little bit. Alright, so you'll go in through the front of the chain link, and then out the side. Make sure it's on the same side as where all these other chains are pointing out, so out towards the left. Then we'll get 2 book cover bands, put them both on our hook, pull this band here that you have on your hook before, you'll put that onto these new bands. Then you'll go in and find the connector band from the previous chains. So this very first one here, you'll put that on your hook. Then you'll put the other end of this new band onto your hook as well. Then we'll get 2 more book cover bands and do pretty much the same thing again. We'll put them both on our hook like so. Pull these bands that were already on our hook onto this new band. And then we'll find the next little connector band here. Put that on our hook. Make sure you don't twist it. And you'll put the other end of these new bands onto your hook as well. And again, get 2 more book cover bands, put them both on our hook. Pull these bands that were already on our hook onto the new band. And for the last time, we'll get this connector band, this last one here. Put that on our hook, and put the other end of the new bands onto your hook as well. And then all we need to do now is get 2 more book cover bands. Put them both on your hook like so. And then pull all these bands here that were already on your hook onto this new band. And then, since there's no more connector bands, we'll just put the other end of the new band onto our hook. And now we're going to get another clip, attach it to these bands here on our hook right now, just like we're ending off our bracelet. There we go. And once your clip, your clip is on this chain, you can go ahead and take your hook out. And then just like before, what you can do is you can take the clip from your previous chain and you can attach it to the end of the new chain. Like so. Because as you can see here is what the book cover in the back looks like. So you can go ahead and get started connecting the clips together. And you'll just go ahead through the rest of this spine chain, we'll call it. Go through the rest of the links here, even this one with the clip on it. Alright guys, I forgot to say something in the tutorial. This is Jay Burns from the future. Hello! Okay, anyway. So when you're going through and you're making the book cover here, when you get to the top of your chain, so the spine chain here in the middle, where you have your clip, instead of just going through this link in the chain like you've done the others, going through the back and then out the side, you're going to go ahead all the way through the chain. So from the front to the back, like that, kind of just like you did with your cap band. You'll have this on your hook, and you'll take your 2 book cover pages, your 2 book cover bands, and pull them through all that. And then you go in, find your book cover page, or gosh, I can't speak. Your connector band down in there. It's a little difficult. There we go. You'll find your connector band down in there. Put that on your hook, and then it'll be just like your other rows, but it will be, the way you start it is you go through this entire side here, so the entire link in that spine chain. And then what you'll do after you finish both sides of the book cover, you can actually take this clip here at the top of your spine chain out, and it will hold your book cover together. So the chains that you put going through the spine chain. So just like I have here in my example. I don't have a clip here on the spine chain link. So yeah, anyway, just go ahead and continue, and use the pause button if you need to, so you can get started making the pages and the other side of your book cover. You'll go through the rest of the links here on this side, and then you'll do the exact same thing you did here on one side of your book cover to the other side of the spine to make the other side of your book cover. So I'll go ahead and show you what you need to do to make the other side. So basically how you will start it is you'll start down here on the cap band again. You'll need 3 new connector bands. So you'll do the exact same thing you did the first time for your cap band down here. You'll make the chain with your 3 connector bands. You'll clip the end. Then, when you go to start going through this chain here, so the spine chain, you'll take your hook. So you'll need to make sure that you're on the side where the single chain looks like it's being stretched out a little bit. So there's one side that looks regular, and this side where it looks like it's getting pulled out on one side. You'll need to make sure you're on that side of the single chain, and you'll just do the exact same thing. You'll go through the front and then out the side, but you'll go out the opposite side of where your cover already is, so you can make the opposite side. And what you'll end up with is something that looks like this. So as you can see here, the single chain looks like it's getting pulled out, stretched out on both sides, and then you flip the cover over, and the single chain looks pretty normal. So this is what you want here, and once you get to a step that looks, or once you get to a point that looks like this, it's now time to add the pages to your book. So you'll need your page rubber bands, and you'll also need a couple connector bands, or a few connector bands. Alright, so as you can see here, the pages are a lot smaller, or less wide, than the book cover. And yes, that is on purpose. And yeah, so that's what we're going to start working on now. So you'll be going through this side of the chain where the book cover looks normal, or where the single chain here in the middle, the spine looks normal. And what we'll do is we'll skip the cap band down here at the bottom, and we're going to start here at this first link in the chain. So you put your hook going through there. So you'll take your hook, you'll put it going in through the front and then out the side, and you should be pretty much on top of the book cover like this. And adding the pages is the exact same thing as adding the book cover rows. And for the pages, you'll only use single bands. You won't be using 2 rubber bands. So just regular bands. Just take one, put on your hook, pull it going through those little loops there. And before you put the other end of these new bands on your hook, you'll get a connector band, put that on your hook, and then you'll put the other end of the new band on your hook. Then again, we'll get a page band, pull all these bands here through onto the new band. Then you'll get a connector band, put on your hook, Put the other end of this new band on your hook. There you go. Then one more time you'll get a page band. Pull all these bands that are already on your hook onto the new band. Get one more connector band that you'll need, and then you'll go ahead and put the other end of the new band on your hook, and then lastly you'll get one more page band. There you go. So that's the first little row on this first page here. So we'll go ahead and get a clip, attach it to this end of the band here, take your hook out, and then you might need to adjust your connector bands. And here's your first page. So now we're going to go ahead and do this for the next 3 links here on this single chain and on this side. So the spine chain here. So we'll put a single chain for the page going through this link, this next one, and then this one here, this one before the very last link, and then this very last link here, we won't put any page bands going through because we already have this clip here. So not the cap band and not this link with this single chain or this clip in it. So I'll go ahead and show you again. You just take your hook, you're going to go into this next little link in the chain, and then you'll add another page or another row to this page. And we'll use the connector bands from the previous chain. So you'll take a band, pull it through, then you'll take the connector band from your previous little chain, put that on your hook, and then put the other end of the new band on your hook as well. Then you'll take another link or another single chain band, another page band, my goodness, put that on your hook, pull all these bands through and on. Then get the next connector band and put that on your hook. Then put the other end of the new band onto your hook. Again, take a page band, put it on your hook like so. Put all these bands already on your hook onto the new band. Take your connector band, put that on your hook. And then put the other end of this new band on your hook. And then one last page band for this row. You'll put that on your hook, pull everything on to that new band, and then put the other end of the new band on your hook. So there's no more connector bands, so you just have this one link here. And you'll get a clip, attach it to the band here on your hook. Then you can take your hook out once you know the clip is on. And just like you did with the book covers, you can go ahead and start attaching the clips for your pages together. So you'll take the clip of the previous chain and attach it to the end of the new one, like that. And then all you'll have to do is go ahead and make 2 more little chains going through the next 2 links in this single chain, or this double single chain, the spine chain, and then you'll be finished your first page, and you'll do the exact same thing you do here on the other side of this chain. So on this side, for me, you'll start here on the same link, go through, and you won't go through the cap band or this last band here. And what you'll end up with is pretty much the final product. So, which is your open book. So, now I guess it's time for the outro. So, I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make my open book charm successfully. And hopefully now you have your little open book charm and it's cool and stuff. Maybe you want to try, figure out a way to make a closed book charm, or make other cool charm ideas stuff using the little technique I used for the single chain, like splitting the chain into different little loops, or I don't know what to call it. But yeah, so I do apologize about that one part there where I had messed up at the top of the at the top of the spine chain, where you were actually supposed to go through the whole thing. But hopefully that didn't confuse you or anything. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say for this tutorial, other than thanks for watching, and bye!